Welcome to Decades of Horror, the 1980s.
Keep your shirt on, asshole.
This is episode 283, recorded April 16th, 2025.
Gruesome Magazine.
I always have my shirt on. Well, most of the time.
Keep it that way.
When I butt tally in the middle of the night. Never mind. That didn't come out right. My name is Jeff Mohr. This podcast is about horror films released between 1980 and 1989. Each episode, my co-hosts Bill Mulligan, Crystal Cleveland, and Chad Hunt. And I will tackle another classic or not so classic film from this radical, gory, influential, and gruesome decade. Joining me tonight is Crystal Cleveland, actress and YouTuber. How you doing, Crystal?
What's up? I'm good. I'm great. Like, it's what? Is it Easter weekend?
It is.
Yes.
That's crazy. Yep. So that's wild. Like, cool. I got nothing. Sorry.
Yeah, we're having a
Just say poo poo.
I'm like,
we're having a small
pee-pee.
family dinner. Also joining us is Chad Hunt, comic book artist and co-host of Decades of Horror, the classic era, and the 1970s. Chad, how you doing?
I am good.
Yay.
Good.
Take that
Awesome.
however you want it.
And last but not least is, I think that's a rock song, isn't it? Chatty baby, be good. No, that isn't it.
Okay.
Also joining us, last but not least,
Leave the comedy to me.
Yeah, please. Yes. Writer, director, and special effects guru, co-host of Decades of Horror, the 1970s. Published author.
I don't have a copy with me.
Nice guy. He's traveling.
Wrong.
He's on the road. This is an international episode.
Yes, it is. I am in Canada, and we had snow today. I came to the land of the ice and snow with midnight sun and the hot winds blow. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Cool.
It's great.
Cool.
Canada, Montreal, beautiful, beautiful.
Excellent.
city,
Well, glad
but
you're with
very
us.
cold.
Glad you're with us. Decades of Horror and Gruesome Magazine are partnering with Play Now Media on several of their channels. And in fact, Decades of Horror, the 70s and 80s are on the Wicked Horror TV channel, as is the Classic Era. Classic Era is also on the Classic Sci-Fi Movie channel, the Classic Horror Movie channel. And we have promo codes. Yes.
Can't see it, can you? Too much of a glare. It's Bill's book.
Oh.
What?
Yay.
Look at that.
Wrong.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
But
It's
it
glowing.
Should have mine
It's
here too. Yeah.
it's glaring too much.
the special radioactive edition.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. So yeah, we have you can watch these channels, Wicked Horror TV channel. You can just watch it kind of like some of the other free channels. You'll get ads and there'll be some premium content that you don't get access to, or you can subscribe and pay a fee. And the monthly fee is $6.99 a month. And the annual fee is $50. Now, we have a promo code that'll give you 20% off your first payment. So if you do the monthly fee, you'll get $1.40 off your first monthly fee. And if you do the annual fee, you'll get $10 off the annual fee. So $40
Nice.
for a year, not too shabby. And they got a lot of nice movies there. We like them. So check them out. And they have a lot of specialty channels, so check those out too. Everything from zombie movies to grindhouse movies to
Bigfoot movies. Professional
wrestling channel. Some good stuff there. So check that out. Now, on this podcast, we start by giving some basic details of the film we're covering. Followed by first impressions of the movie. Then we'll do some taglines. Chad will do some taglines. And then we'll move into a general discussion of the film. So, and spoiler alert, we're going to spoil this. This movie's almost 40 years old, 39 years old.
Good Lord.
This is what we're watching or talking about. Now, anybody know why I put the Tasmanian Devil up there with this?
Because he's cool.
No. Why?
Because they're little Tasmanian devils.
Yes, Chiodo
Oh.
Brothers used the Tasmanian Devil as kind of a starting point for the Critters design.
I get, yeah, okay. Okay.
And they
yeah.
kind of roll. They don't twirl, but they do roll.
Yeah.
We're doing Critters.
Yeah.
Released in 1987, directed by Stephen Herek, written by Domonic Muir and Stephen Herek, from a story by Domonic Muir, and apparently additional scenes were written by Don Opper.
Don Opper.
The cast includes the
Get
one,
to
the only.
Opper.
Yeah.
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 The cast includes the one, the only D. Wallace,
Yay.
Yay.
Emmett Walsh, Billy Greenbush, Scott Grimes, Nadine Van der Velde, Don Keith Opper, Billy Zane, Ethan Phillips, and Lynn Shay, among others.
What? Really? Okay. I'm not very good at this. Yeah. Wow.
Production company is New Line Cinema, Show Films, and Smart Egg Pictures. It was filmed in Valencia, California, and Kansas.
Kansas.
I don't know what part was filmed in Kansas, but
The flat part.
the flat part, yes. Filming dates: July 1985. Release date: April 11th, 1986. The budget is estimated to be $2 to $3 million. Domestic box office was a little over $13 million. So
Good
profit.
return.
made some
Mhm.
money. And the synopsis is a group of small but vicious alien creatures called Krites escape from an alien prison transport vessel and land near a small farm town on Earth, pursued by two shape-shifting bounty hunters.
Ah, so it's the alien factor.
It kinda, yeah.
Meets
I
Looney
love-
Tunes.
I love that one line where the old lady's describing them, the bounty hunters. Yeah, their clothes were really weird. It was like they were from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm leaving the humor to Chad.
Ah,
Well,
that was the part shot in
Ah.
Kansas.
I forget who picked this movie.
Me.
Bill. So, time for first impressions. Bill.
I saw this. I'm sure I saw it on HBO or Showtime or Cinemax or whatever it was my parents had back in the day, a long, long time ago. And I know I saw the sequel as well, because when I was watching, I was like, that's not how I remember it. And I'm realizing now I was probably remembering a lot of Critters too. I'm pretty sure I saw this one as well. It didn't leave a huge memory in my head, other than the bounty hunters, who aren't in here as much as I'd like. And I barely remembered the critters, but now I understand there's not that many, not enough critters in this movie. It's a cool premise and all. But what I do like about it, it's I like the family. I like the
Mhm.
family unit here and the character. And it's not a mean-spirited 80s movies like some we have, or this family they have their quirks and everything, but they're likable, they stick together, they're fighting for each other. I mean, I think the family pretty much makes it. Billy Zane, well, what are you gonna do if you're in one of these horror movies where there's a good solid family and you're the boyfriend? Yeah, it's somebody's got to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not the lead, you're going to die. That's just, yeah.
But it's got its charms and everything. I mean, I think it's mid-level, but enjoyable, and it did well enough. It's good enough, and made enough money that a sequel was inevitable. And then you start thinking, well, what are we going to do for a sequel? Tell the same story? Do we need to up the ante a little bit? So I can see, how many Critters movies did we end up having? Was it 4 or 5?
Oh, God. Oh, it was over 4. Because
Well,
then there was some that were off. I think there's like 6.
Wow.
Well, there's 4 standard ones, I think. Is there some other oddball ones?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just can't. Hold on. I got to Google. I can't remember. But yeah, there is some that are like labeled.
Now, if you're comparing this to the most obvious movie in this
there is-
subgenre, Gremlins,
It's
no,
just-
it falls vastly short of Gremlins. But Gremlins is one of the top movies of the 80s, so that's not really a fair comparison. For a $2-3 million movie, I thought they did a really good job.
So there's 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
It's
seeing that
Critters
too.
Attack, so that's not a numbered one. Just so you know, I thought there was more than one though. More than
Yeah,
just
Critters
one.
Attack was like 2019, and number 4 was 1992.
When I was watching this, I thought, gee, I thought one of the bounty hunters was a really hot woman. That's from Critters 2. And I also remembered I thought that the critters kind of like congealed together into a big ball of critters, and
So
that's
that's the
also
second one too.
okay. So I'm
Yep,
obviously
they come
remembering a
one
lot
big
about the
one.
set.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, they kind of all smashed together. These were movies that were the kind of thing you'd turn on and watch on HBO and you know, get the Jiffy Pop popcorn and have a good time. They're nice, unassuming, good entertainment, good bang for your buck. You know, not a lot of money, but it's all there on the screen. And wisely, I think, they wrote good characters. I think this is a real lesson for low budget filmmaking. You can't,
Mhm.
you probably don't have the budget to have all the critters and all the UFOs and the special effects and the car crashes. That's out of your budget. What you can do is write some good characters, give them a decent arc, put in some snappy dialogue that sounds like real people, and this also helps, hire some good people to play them. And this has a pretty darn good cast. You
Mhm.
know, Dee Wallace, of course, is wonderful in everything she does. And M. Emmett, I mean, okay, this man was in legit great films. You know, if you can get people like that in there,
Yep.
put them in.
All righty. Thank you, sir. Crystal Cleveland, how about you?
What's up?
When
Okay,
did you
so
see this?
I saw this when I was a kid. I don't remember when, but I will tell you, I mainly remember this film because of Terrence Mann. Oh my God. He's fine. Like, he reminds me of Tim Curry, like when
Mhm.
he was young. And so I was totally in love with him. So that's really what I remember from this film, at least this one. He's in the second one too, but the second one is, I don't know that it's better because there's less of the family stuff. And I agree with Jeff. I really like the family stuff, but there's a lot more critters. And yeah, anyway, I love this film. I still love this film. I don't understand why these freaking get pooped on. I think that
Mhm.
it's people who maybe watched it as a kid and thought it was kind of cheesy. I don't think it's cheesy. I think they're pretty darn tootin' good myself. I'm just saying. Um, Bill's right. There's not a lot of critters in this film, but there's so much going on. And he's also right too. Like, this film takes a while to get started, even before you start seeing the critters, and you don't mind because of, you got your little space stuff, and then it goes to the family. And for some reason, the family is very good. I will tell you, it's no wonder that Dee Wallace is still where she is, even though she mainly is just stuck in the horror world, because she clearly gave 150% to this to this role. And she gave, I mean, I was like, damn, like, she's bringing it for
Mhm.
for this silly little movie. Yeah, I even like the nerdy Charlie. I love how, that actor gets to kind of do two different roles, even more so in the second film, because there's two Charlies, technically, in the second film. Well, maybe like three, because anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I really liked it. Oh, and I didn't know who Billy Zane was when I mean, had no clue who he was. And
Mhm.
then watching this, I was like, oh, that's Billy Zane. And then Lynn Shay, I didn't realize that was Lynn at all. So I'm super good at this. But
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot of good actors here. So like I said, I think this, if you haven't seen this film, like, seriously. Okay. And also, it's wild to me. Okay. Here's the thing about it. Like, obviously, Gremlins is better. It's like a better made film, but Gremlins is also for freaking kids. Critters is not for kids, not really. There's a lot of cussing. They talk about a lot of more mature things. And in two, it's even more mature. I don't even think, I know
Mhm.
that one can't be PG because you see boobies. But I think this one is PG-13, and it's kind of surprising because there's a a lot of cussing and stuff. But
Mm.
you know, it's definitely more mature than Gremlins was. So yeah. And it's your first time, Jeff, right? That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Such
All
a
righty.
nightmare.
Thanks, Crystal and Chad.
I saw this one in the theater.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, and I've always loved the Critters. I know there are
Mm.
Gremlin ripoffs and this and that, but I'm a big fan of little things that are too stupid to know that they're little. For one thing, and you know, and they're just like landed on this planet and they're trying to kill everybody. I like the one scene where the one critter goes, "They have weapons," and the other one goes,
Yeah.
"So what?" And the one gets blown away, and he goes, "You know, that's
Funny.
priceless right there. That's worth the price of admission to that movie." But I love the attitudes of these little guys, and I just find it hilarious. And a lot of things did come together to make this movie good. I think it was that family story. It was Dee Wallace's performance. I think that was the heart of that family dynamic. I mean, she, like Crystal said, she gave 100% in as playing the hysterical mom. You know, and you know, blowing away Gremlin or what are these things called? Critters.
Right.
Critters, yeah.
And yeah, this is. I guess maybe it does get pooped on a lot, but I particularly love this film. I think the Critters are hilarious. Scott Grimes he's not an annoying, you know, kid that was so prevalent in movies where there's a family and the kids always know more than the parents, blah blah blah, and are smart asses all the time. He had a good role, a good arc in this. I liked it a lot. Yeah, Billy Zane, the best Phantom that's ever been put to celluloid, in my opinion. There's only one as far as I know, but I loved him in that movie too. Billy Green Bush, which I always have the accent on Bush just because it's funnier to say it that way.
Yeah, obviously.
But no, my brother and I used to say it like that. It pissed my dad off all the time. Oh, that's Billy Green Bush. Boy, shut up. I would get that.
Kind of like something Billy Green Bush would say.
Yeah, probably.
But yes, he played a pretty convincing dad. Yeah, this is a favorite of mine. I'm glad it was picked. And hopefully we'll get to watch another or two of these. They're pretty good. So yeah, I like Critters a lot.
Cool. Thank you, sir. And again, another movie I haven't seen, and just to spoil it, I haven't seen next episode's movie either. So yeah, you guys are getting me into these. So I enjoyed the heck out of this, and yeah, the Critters are fun little weird things. They're like the galaxy. I don't know. Juvenile delinquents, like only they're
oh yeah,
murderous juvenile delinquents.
Yeah,
and they just start chomping whatever they can get their toothies on, without regard to whether it's a smart thing to do or not. At that moment, somebody's in range, they start chomping. I too love the cast. I thought Scott Grimes was great. I always love Emmett Walsh is excellent. Billy Green Bush, I'll show something about him later, but did you know, this is so weird.
Yeah.
His kids' names
are
their last name is Greenbush. One word.
What? So they made it one.
But that's not his birth name is something entirely different. It's William Warren Bush, but his kids are listed as he's got twins, Sydney and Rachel Greenbush, and Clay Greenbush.
Oh, God.
Why does he have the space between green and bush?
I don't know why he does. I don't know. And in fact, his first credits had green in parentheses. And I thought, well, maybe people called him Green as a nickname for Green Bush. I don't know. You got me.
Woof.
There was no story about that.
That's
whatsoever.
why I call him Green Bush.
So like yeah, I thought everybody was cool. This is very early on in some of theirs. Nadine Vandervelde was good as the sister. Billy Zane, I think this is like his second credit, maybe. Ethan Phillips is hilarious, I thought, as that deputy, and Lynn Shay too as the dispatcher. Those are cool parts, and they do a really good job. And of course, Dee Wallace is phenomenal as always.
I find it offensive that not one of you mentioned Terrence Mann. Okay, I find it offensive.
Who the hell is Terrence Mann?
I'm kidding.
Johnny Steele. Johnny Steele.
Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny Steele.
All right. So now it's time for that special event that everybody waits for.
I find that hard to believe.
Known as Taglines for Chad. As played by Chad, his own self.
I don't know if I want to read these.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Okay, can we go on to the next segment?
No.
Nope.
Okay, the original tasty entree.
What?
Oh no.
Wait, I got to look at you. Are you just making this up?
No,
I like
no.
the way you guys
that's
all
actually what
look
it
at me
says.
every time. Like, Chad, you wrote these?
The original tasty entree. Okay. I don't get it.
When you've got critters, you need all the help you can get.
Okay.
Wow.
That's the one.
These really are subpar.
Mm-hmm.
They bite.
The taglines? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, for
They
real.
bite.
Mhm.
Can't argue with you.
The battle began in another galaxy. It's about to end in the Browns' backyard.
Okay.
All right. I can
Behind
live
the
with
green bush.
Oh boy.
Greenbush.
that. Which one?
They eat so fast you don't have time to scream.
Well, that's a lie. Okay, that's a lie because they did scream.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious, exciting, and chilling suspense.
Mm.
God, these are really, really pretty bad. These might be the worst we've had.
Yeah.
We critters are small, furry, intelligent, and dangerous. We devour everything.
Oh.
Why
So
are
they-
the critters talking?
Yeah, they made
Yeah,
the
like-
movie. I mean, okay. It's a documentary.
Oh, yeah. Mm-mm.
Hey guys, don't forget, they are criminals and bloodthirsty, and they love to torment us.
Okay. This is so bad. But I guess that's true. They
Yeah.
are criminals.
Just
And
because something's
bloodthirsty.
true doesn't mean it needs to be.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep.
The war began on another world, and that's that tagline.
These were just
Okay.
not that good.
Yeah, it's
And
really
that's
bad.
been Taglines with Chad.
Chad's our hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
You know, it's true. Chad is a hero for doing that, but
Yeah.
it's not true. They can't be that bad because they really were that bad.
Well,
I
did
I
you
will
notice
admit
that
to translating some of those from foreign posters. but-
Oh, well, that's no
did y'all?
excuse.
It's like a question at the end. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad. Like
Can't be that
it
bad.
was like a question. Like
Yeah.
They can't be that
I think-
bad.
I think we answered that question.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. They're
Chad.
better with Chad reading them, but
Yes.
I
even
mean, they wouldn't have
Chad
been any
can't make
better if
'em.
I read them. So, it's still valid.
Chad
Those
reading
were the worst.
taglines.
Ugh.
They could with without
Oof.
Chad Beatty.
See,
it could be
I
worse.
totally disagree with that. They're terrible. Whoever's reading them.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at some posters. And I don't know, is this the
That's the one I remember.
theatrical poster? Okay.
Yeah, this was.
Oh, I see. It's got teeth at the top. I couldn't.
Yeah. This looks like it was directed by Kevin Spielberg.
Yeah, it does.
A
Mhm.
little takeoff of E.T. Is that?
Yeah, very much. And I think people would not have been happy if they thought they were getting E.T. and they got this. There
are some homages to some recent horror movies in this movie, especially E.T.
Yeah,
with D. Wallace in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good looking, and you've got the farm and silhouette.
I think
it's
cool.
The one kept headbutting the toy E.T.
Yeah,
smacking it or something.
Yeah. Okay, well that's nice looking.
And then this one, it's like I got a feeling.
Remember?
Yeah, I think I have a feeling they came back. It's like people don't know what they're getting here, and
I think you're right. You know what? I feel like this is one of those ones. This first poster was one that they didn't want people to know what it was, like Gremlins,
right.
or it was supposed to be a surprise.
And then they woke up and
it says battle though.
I didn't know Danny DeVito was in this movie.
Well, not only that, if you think about the size of crop rows in a field, that thing would be like 50 feet tall.
Oh,
because he's straddling like I don't know, 8 rows or something.
And we all know how long a crop row is. So
I do.
Well, you do, of course you do.
And I'm just thinking about the tendency for posters to show giant things in movies that don't have giant things.
Yeah, well.
or gianter things in movies that have
camera angles.
Things. All right.
I do see the Tasmanian Devil influence there. And then this baffling one, which I never saw this.
How is it? Okay, so I get all this, but like, I mean, they're
hiding under the porch and the house has collapsed. Is that or burned
well,
down?
The house is collapsed at the end.
Yeah.
That's the end. Okay. And then technically they did have little babies somewhere. We don't know that they were in that barn until they got fixed, all moved back. And then those are the aliens with their semi-glowing head. I mean, that's fair. And there's 2 of them. There's a family. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I hate that the C is covering that R. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's weird. That's an odd choice, but okay.
So, okay. All right. Well, let's move on from the posters.
Not bad posters. Not bad.
No, not bad.
No.
3 very
looks like someone
styles.
put a lot of work in.
Yeah, they are. They are
Yeah.
3 very different ones. So, but you guys, this is the one that most people, if they saw this, they would know. That would ring a bell because I don't think it doesn't.
I
really
haven't
tell
seen
you
that
what
one.
it is.
It was the second one for me.
That was in the poster box when I went to see it.
Yeah,
that one. Yeah. I didn't see the other poster, the second one, till it came out on VHS.
Okay.
So that explains why. Because I never saw anything in theaters. It was always like later. So that makes more sense. Because that I remember. I don't remember it being so drawn though, like the critter thing. But I don't remember exactly anyway.
Well, there are a couple of close-ups where you get to see stuff like that. So anyway, the director, Stephen,
this guy's all over the place.
Herek. He seems to be like have a place in comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Mighty Ducks, and for sort of children. Mr. Holland's Opus, wasn't that?
Richard
was that in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 95.
And then the 101 Dalmatians live action film.
Oh, okay. The one with Glenn Close.
Yeah. Before they did the prequel. And Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, a huge moneymaker. I mean, I think all 4 of these movies made money, as did Critters. So.
And then later on, Dolly Parton's Christmas of Many Colors, Circle of
Oh, that's neat. I'd watch that.
Now this sounds familiar, but I can't think of what it is. The Great Gilly Hopkins.
Oh, no,
Is that
no.
like? I'll bet that's from a kid's book. That's anyway. So yeah, he does have quite a range. The Mighty Ducks, Bill and Ted's Excellent, but this is kind of only the straight out horror one, right?
Yeah. Straight out as it is. Yeah, this is. His is not a name that really lingers in my head, but he's been a success. You cannot argue with that.
Facts.
He did the Three Musketeers that has Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, and Chris O'Donnell. But he did do Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Oh, I love that movie. I love that movie.
Is that the one with Elizabeth Shue? No, that was
no, that's
Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah, it's with Christina Applegate, where
Christina
she becomes
Applegate.
the boss, and then like her brother's like a big old loser, and like so she gets this job because they spend all. I think the brother spends all their money, and so she has to get a job so she can support him. And then they wind up cleaning up the house and stuff. I don't know. I was very young when I saw it too. So but I just thought she was kind of a boss bitch, you know, it's cool. She doesn't really do any work. She pawns it off, you know, it's wonderful.
Sounds like my sisters.
Well, I think wasn't like Mr. Holland's Opus, wasn't that up for some Academy Awards?
Yeah, that's one of those feel good movies that, you know, Richard Dreyfuss, I'm sure, was up for an award. Not my cup of tea, but I'm sure it was well done. Yeah. I don't like feel good. I don't like feel good movies. Not that feel good.
I've seen all these except for that one.
Me neither.
But yeah, he was nominated for Best Actor for that. Richard Dreyfuss. Well, really, who should have been Oscar-winning actress is Dee Wallace.
I just love Dee Wallace, and part of it is because, like probably a lot of you, if you go to horror movie conventions, there's a pretty good chance you've met her, and you got to see in person how nice she is. She is just one of the most genuine people. Now, she got stereotyped into doing mom roles because her big breakout was E.T., where she played the mom, and that was awesome. And then, you know, she's playing the mom in this too. But part of it is, yeah, she played the mom in this movie, so she's going to play the mom forever. But also, she makes a great mom. She's a likable mom, but also has some steel in there. You really do believe that she would take on a bear if it was attacking the kids. So of course,
or a Cujo.
If they took more than a second to think, who do we have as the mom? And when we make Cujo, it's like, duh. You know, she just does this role really well. But she's a good actress. I'm sure she could also play against type too really well. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Oh, she just did in one of Rob Zombie's more recent films. She was like the prison guard. She was pretty hard. It's totally different from what.
But if you do get a chance to see her in go get her autograph. She is a sweet person. She's funny. She'll do MCs. I never laughed so much. I saw her and Bruce Campbell co-MC like the costume show or something. I don't know. They were just, it hurt from laughing so much.
Yeah, and there was some callback scenes here to E.T. For instance, in E.T., the little boy heats up the thermometer and fakes being sick.
Yeah.
But he gets away with it, right? And in this one, the boy does the same thing, and she just looks at it and laughs. She just laughs and ignores him. You know, 106. Oh,
yeah. My dad told me that exact same story. He tried to pull that stunt when he was a kid, and my grandmother's like, I guess the thermometers went up higher back then because he had some number, you would be so dead. So he held it against a light bulb. That was his idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would do it. I actually had 105, 106 with the measles when I was a kid.
Oh, I did too. I hallucinated from kidneys. I have a really bad kidney, and I had lots of infections.
Yeah,
I remember seeing ice on the clocks. That was weird.
Yeah, shut in my room with the doors and windows shut because the light hurt my eyes. So
Oof.
that's my minor tragedy. Okay, well here's what we've just been talking about.
I'm
Look at
glad
this
you were
stuff.
okay after that.
Yeah,
That's
well, you
scary,
too.
actually.
Oh well, the
Mhm.
jury's out.
I'm
these are
the
all-
deciding vote.
Uh-oh.
Here's some more
These are
D stuff.
all the excellent films. Come on.
And you got me on this, Bill. I was looking at this afternoon. I went, Stepford Wives. Was she in Stepford Wives? So I had to go look. She's got like a little teeny tiny part as a maid where she walks out and serves a couple of the women who haven't been turned yet. And they talk about what a great maid she is. She doesn't say a word, I don't think. The woman just tells everybody what a great maid she is.
Now here I was saying, gee, has she played villainous roles? She's great in The Frighteners. Dang.
Oh my God, yes. As the one of the freaking Busey boys' girl. God, he was crazy. He was super good in that.
The Busey boys.
yeah.
Well, she was in something recently, I think, where she was kind of what was that Australian movie? Wasn't there one like something like Red Christmas or something? I'm not seeing it now.
Yeah, something like that. We played it at Wreak Havoc one year. It's a small film.
But she's made a lot of stuff.
She's made a lot of stuff. Look at the people she got to work with just from these 6 movies here. We have Joe Dante, Wes Craven, we've got Spielberg, Peter Jackson. I mean, she's worked with some top-notch people, and she's given great performances in all of them.
Well, she was in Critters Attack too. Yeah, I think she's great in this, and she does a good job. Totally freaking out. She runs down to the barn. Then later she gets hit by one of those flying quills from the critter that apparently are poisonous, have knockout drops or something. I think she's excellent here. The one that really surprised me is Scott Grimes. I know him from Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
I never saw any of these shows where he was a kid, and then he was in a bunch of TV shows in the 90s. He plays Sergeant Malarkey on the Band of Brothers, but he was on ER. He was in 112 episodes of ER.
Wow.
And then a show called Party of Five. I never saw that, but he was like
Campbell, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes, and Matthew Fox. He was a friend of the kids or something, I guess. He was in maybe half the episodes. But he's really good. I thought. I mean, I bought him, and I forget who was saying it. He was not that typical smartass.
Chad
tweener, you know. He was. I mean, he had. It was kind of cool that he was making his own explosives. That was cool.
Well, I mean, he's still the way that they made him. He is still a little bit stupid because he's like, "What did I do?" Well, you did shoot your sister with the slingshot, but I can accept that kind of stupidity.
Right.
It's just when they're just dumb that I. So I feel like he was written really well.
Well, he's not a smart ass and disrespectful.
Right.
You know? So
he's just a little dumb, like most kids are.
I didn't.
What did I do really?
He knew what he did.
That. Yeah.
He's a cute kid.
Yeah, he's cute.
All righty. And then
Uncle Rico.
Well, I kind of jumped over him. Billy Green Bush.
A good dad.
And
just
he was one of the troopers in Hitcher.
Yeah. That didn't work out too well.
Mm-mm.
And what was he in Jason Goes to Hell?
The dad. He was a sheriff too, I believe, wasn't he? Who happened to be the main girl's dad.
The place I remember him from, and I didn't mount this or not, is in a Western called Monty Walsh that I've always talking about as one. From 1970 that stars Lee Marvin and Jack Palance. And it's kind of about the death of the cowboys. All these guys worked on a ranch together, And when they sell the ranch off, they all go off and try to figure out what the hell they're going to do because the cowboys are gone. And some of them get married and run a general store, and some of them join a rodeo, and some of them turn into thieves. So this is 15, 16 years before this. I had this picture in my mind of him in a Western scene, and I would have swore it was in Tombstone, but it took me a while to find it. It was in Monty Walsh. He does a pretty good job. All right. Mr. Walsh, Emmett Walsh.
And there's more stuff he's been in, but those are the two kind of clicked with me.
Oh yeah, he's got over 200 credits.
Yeah.
He is like the working guy.
He delivers one of my favorite lines in any movie of all time. It was Raising Arizona, and him and Nicolas Cage are working in that factory, whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there just boring Nicolas Cage with this story, and he keeps rambling on. And John, I told John to come in. He goes, and Nicolas Cage goes, John Watson? He goes, no, not that mother scratcher, John Watkins. I just thought that was the most hilarious. That's just me, but I thought it was the most hilarious line in that movie.
Yeah, Blade Runner, Escape from Planet of the Apes, and that was early on. I think his first credits are late 60s. He was in Alice's Restaurant.
Oh, wow.
1969. He was the Group W sergeant. That when Arnold Guthrie is sitting on the Group W bench, there I was on the Group W bench with all the worst criminals the Army could find. There was mother rapers and father stabbers and father rapers. There was father rapers sitting there on the Group W bench with me. If anybody's never seen Alice's Restaurant, you should watch it. It's a famous song of Arnold Guthrie's when he was known for basically telling stories with the song. He would tell a story and then kind of roll into a chorus periodically. And they made a movie of it. Walsh is also in Blood Simple, which is a great role. So, and he's good here. He plays this grumpy sheriff perfectly. Yeah.
They do change the sheriff, I think, in the second movie. I think I like the
Yeah, I don't
sheriff better
think
the
he's
second
in
one.
it.
Mm-mm.
All righty. Billy Zane.
I wonder if that was a wig even back then.
Probably not. It looks a little too frizzy to be a wig. You know, it looks a little frizzy.
I've always liked Billy Zane.
Me too.
Yeah.
It makes me realize how freaking old he is, though. Because like look how old he is here. I'm like, God, like I didn't realize he was that old.
The Phantom should have done better than it did. It was, I guess.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Superheroes weren't in vogue when it came out, and the Phantom is just not that well known to Americans, at least.
Well, it was
I don't even think I
comic
even
strip
heard of
when
it.
I was growing up.
Yeah, but it wasn't in a lot of papers. It wasn't, you know.
Okay.
But
especially now, people aren't aware of him as much these days.
Yeah.
Especially. But great character. I've always loved the Phantom.
Well, this was his second part after he was in Back to the Future. I don't know what he did.
Oh wow.
He was one of the bullies.
Henchman.
Oh, one of Biff's buddies.
Yeah.
No,
and then of course he was a great bad guy in Titanic. He was classic punchable face.
What else? Oh, he was in Dead Calm as well.
Oh my God, I loved him in that, and Nicole Kidman, and Sam Neill.
Yeah.
God,
I just rewatched that a couple of weeks ago. Still a great movie. Mm-hmm.
And then, we don't have cards for these guys, but I like Ethan Phillips, who plays the deputy Jeff, who's coming on to Lynn Shay, who's the dispatcher Sally in the movie. I know him from, he was a regular on Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
Oh.
He played a character named Neelix. He also did 3 episodes of Werewolf, the 1987 series.
The Chuck Connors one?
Well, I don't know. Was Chuck Connors in that? I've never seen it. And I keep reading about it. Oh, Chuck Connors is in it. Yeah, he's Janos Skorzeny.
That's right. We covered that on Night Stalker.
He's in 6 episodes. Yeah.
Because the vampire was named after him, right?
Yes.
In Night Stalker.
A grad student becomes infected with lycanthropy after his friend turns into a werewolf and attacks him. And there was 29 episodes.
That sounds neat.
I was thinking you'd seen that, Chad, because I thought at one time you said it was pretty good.
What's that?
This werewolf series.
Yeah, I did. I've seen it. I've seen episodes of it.
Okay.
That's why Chuck Connors was the first thing that popped into my mind. But
sure.
Is there any place you can watch it? Because I have definitely not seen this.
It is not streaming officially anywhere, so that means check YouTube, Daily Motion, archive.org, that kind of stuff. All right.
The Phantom was good because it was like a sort of a little bit campier version of Raiders, and it's like an adventure strip. I don't know if would he be considered a superhero?
Sure.
I guess so. He'd have to be. He looks like one.
Well,
that looks like a soup.
He's got no less powers than Batman.
Did he have his own comic book, or was it just a comic strip?
He had. There's been comic books, but he started out as Lee Falk, the comic strip in the newspaper.
Oh, cool.
I think.
No, I used to read those. Back when they had stuff like that. Rex Morgan, MD, was another.
Yeah. I read Spider-Man and Howard the Duck. I read
All right, and look, we have the Bounty Hunters.
Oh, look at Terrence.
There's the picture. I'm afraid I did not give Terrence a separate graphic.
Is that the girl from part 2?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, whatever, Chad.
Those guns were kind of cool, and the outfits were kind of cool.
I like their outfits. Actually, I like the way they look too. Like that was creepy with the, no face.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think that they did a good job overall. I mean, other than when the ship is flying, it's kind of embarrassing, but the rest of it is pretty good. I mean,
there's a lot of dialogue describing action in that sort of prelude where or introduction where we're landing on prison asteroid 17.
Yeah.
How many crates do you have? And then, oh no, the crates have escaped.
But now we only have 8 because we didn't have enough food.
There was anyway. That is kind of cool. And there was times though when those top shots there, you could see like little tiny eye holes. Maybe they didn't have the glow on them just right, or the reflecting. But I only really noticed it once. So
for the budget, this had some pretty cool effects in it.
Well,
I agree totally.
So the critter effects were from the Chiodo brothers, who we know from
Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So and they pretty much did the rest of them, I think, or at least they did number 2 anyway. So
he said they did number 2.
Yeah.
That was for you, Crystal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look at that! Look at that hair. Okay, on that middle.
I know. On that
right?
one,
like that.
They were
awesome.
Tony Manero
slightly different,
hair.
right? The one at the bottom is kind of almost, I don't know, doesn't have as much hair on top.
And the shape is different too. I like that it's kind of like heavier down at the bottom.
Shape the other way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's he got? Is his mouth full of wires and stuff from the car dash? Kind of looks like it.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Hardware. Yeah, the glowing eyes. There's actually a picture when they're. That's kind of gross. Let me see if I've got it handy here. Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, before I decided to use a Tasmanian devil.
Oh yeah, well that
Oh,
thing is ugly.
That
So
was
ugly.
so hilarious. They
Close your
shotgunned
mouth
his
when you
head off.
chew. Yeah. Close your mouth when you chew. Well, I loved it when he the one gets blown up.
Yeah.
His mouth kind of goes like he's going to belch. Smoke comes out all around.
He just kind of slumps over.
So yeah, that's good stuff. Nice creatures, and then they turned into little furry tumbleweeds.
It's one of the better Gremlin ripoffs.
Oh yeah.
You know,
And they claim that they had this script before Gremlins came out, and that's certainly possible.
yeah.
I think that's possible. I think it's more visually similar to Gremlins. I think that it's totally possible that they had the script, but then did maybe take some
I think
things.
yes, I think the idea of making them mischievous little creatures instead of maybe just hard-on scary monsters might have been influenced by Gremlins. But then again, this is an obvious thing. I mean, it's easy to do hand puppets. Oh, it's easier. It's not easy at all, but it's easier than having to do some giant pumpkin head remote control, you know. But it worked.
So now
they just have that vibe though. They've got that Gremlins vibe. Like they'll kill you and they're evil, but it's more, you know, they're bored. They want to have fun.
We've always heard periodically about the possibility of a remake or a sequel to Killer Clowns.
They did kind of take too from Gremlins the idea that the physical attributes of these would sort of follow along with their personality or whatever, or who they were, so you can differentiate them, I guess, so that all don't look the same. The Gremlins did that a little bit too with the well, especially in the second Gremlins, but dressing up as other female gremlins and that kind of stuff. Hilarious. Yeah, I appreciated that too, watching it. It's very much a Gremlin ripoff, and you know that watching it, but they just made these little guys so entertaining. It's like you can't help but stare at them.
Oh, here it is.
Right.
So under producer, at least one of the Chiodo brothers lists as upcoming the return of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 3D. And it says in production.
What's that, from 75?
Yeah, they did have it multiple times. It was like almost getting started, but
right. And we're still kind of continually hearing about it. I think we should ask Ralph, because I'm sure he would know what the latest scuttlebutt was. Anyway, all righty. What else do we have to say here? I thought that, you know, the Scott Grimes character is like there's a couple different times where he totally takes charge. Or maybe 3 times. He goes out and saves his sister in the barn with that firecracker. And then he, when they're all falling apart on the porch there, he races around the house and finds a way in and opens the door for him. And then at the end, he's the one who's going to take off on his bike, although that doesn't quite work out the way he planned. But
well, I think that was his whole arc they were trying to show from the beginning. And he was a little mischievous at the beginning, but he soon he started learning responsibility and all that by the end of the movie. So
this is very much a boy's adventure kind of film, you know, the kind of stuff, because even at the end, what's the big thing? He gets the secret phone thing from the aliens. If there's ever trouble, and I'll bet there will be, he gets to call this in. This is like a boy's fantasy. This is, you get to fight monsters, you know, meet some cool aliens who also think you're pretty cool. Your whole house is destroyed, but then the aliens bring it back. That's what I'm saying. It's not that mean spirited.
So how did they do that? Was that just a whole reverse thing? They just staged
magic of hand wavium.
Are you serious, Jeff? Why are you asking questions like that? Oh my God.
They're aliens.
They can't ask questions like that.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's just when science can't be, or when magic can't
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Science magic. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. 2 words. Science magic. Okay.
Science. What was it? What was it? Arthur C. Clarke? If science is so
Yes.
advanced, it would be indistinguishable from magic.
From magic. Thank you, Bill. You knew
Yeah.
exactly
Well,
what I was trying to say.
but it doesn't really match. Like the house
Mhm.
really kind of blows up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then
so.
when it comes back, all the
Mm-hmm.
pieces are not charred and they're all
Everything.
there,
I'll
nice
make it.
pile.
Everything is
I
made
said
of matter
science
and energy.
magic.
Yeah.
What, Bill?
Everything there is made of matter and energy, and neither
Have you
one
heard
can
of
be destroyed.
transmutation? Yeah. Okay.
Every atom that is here has been here since pretty much the beginning of time. Energy, just
Mhm.
Well,
Yep.
it was cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well done and a little more complicated than those usually are. It wasn't like just I'm sure they filmed something staged and then ran it backwards, but it didn't look like that so much. It was well done.
Mhm. Oh, you mean how did they accomplish? Oh, you mean
Oh.
oh, you
I mean,
meant
what was the
filming.
special effect?
Oh,
No,
oh, well,
that's
that's
I
crazy.
forgot.
Okay, well,
Are you going to cut all this part?
Crystal's in La La Land.
After
what
effects.
you were talking
That's how they
about in
did
the movie. I'm like, oh well.
All
go
right.
ahead.
All right. Are we done talking about this?
I think we're done talking.
Please, God, yes.
But it's worth a watch. And
Oh,
it's
definitely.
out there.
Totally.
Where did you guys watch it?
Tubi.
Tubi.
No, I watched on Plex.
Okay. Well, it's on
Tubi.
Hoopla too.
Ah.
If you want to watch it without commercials, if you have a library card.
My library card got taken away from me. They discovered I didn't live in Florida.
Well, you can get one where you live. Woman.
No, there's not one. There
You
is
have-
no public library that has a Hoopla. I'm not kidding. I already checked. That's
Really?
the first thing I
Wow.
did. Oh yeah, truly.
Library card.
Mhm.
All right.
Lame.
Well, folks, we do have some feedback.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Not a ton. Some concise ones
Feedback.
here.
Uh-oh.
So let's take a look here.
Concise.
First up, episode 278, Angel, starring Rory Calhoun, from Jose. Who wants to take that? Crystal.
Okay, perfect. Okay. This is one of those notorious, nearly iconic 80s films that I've read lots about and used to look at the VHS box in the video store, but never got to see. You're not missing anything.
You didn't
I
miss a
promise you.
damn thing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't, but you
It's
should watch
so-
it because
Go
of
see it,
Rory.
Jose.
Because I do love Rory, and it's cute. Their relationship's cute, but you didn't really miss anything.
Ignore
you
the
know?
sayers of nay. You'll enjoy it.
Yes. See. Okay. Episode 281, Chad, Day of the Dead, Travis McDonald.
Travis says Day of the Dead is not just one of my favorite 80s horror films, but it's one of my all-time favorite horror films. Okay. I remember renting the Media Home Entertainment VHS pack way back in the day and was hooked on this one. The gore was plentiful, and then as I got older, I began to appreciate the dialogue and story so much more. Supposedly, Romero's original version was intended to be the Gone with the Wind of zombie films, but what we got is a masterpiece. It's not easy following two all-time classics, such as Night and Dawn, but Day is much darker and the gore is to shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And along with Crystal, I too was squeamish when Bub put the shaving razor to his face.
Yeah.
That was kind of gross. That
Yeah.
was gross.
Just-
It
I
makes
don't-
it's
yeah.
cringe. It's cringe.
Yeah.
Funny how one can see guts and eyeballs ripped out and be fine, but a zombie potentially dry shaving is what creeps you out. The very first time I ever got a professional barber shave, as soon as I saw the straight razor, all I could think of was Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs. I guess gore is subjective. And whatever you do, avoid at all costs the 2008 remake of Day. A Bob Crane, Bobcat Goldthwait home movie collaboration would be more enjoyable than this bionic turd.
Okay.
One man's opinion. I knew Crystal would laugh at turd.
Well, I didn't read the whole thing. I just saw. I was like, "Whoa, okay, that's weird." Okay, now I get it.
I'm puzzling over that. Bob Crane. I know the joke about a Bob Crane home movie, but Bobcat Goldthwait?
Yeah, like he's silly. Well, I don't remember him in much, but I think he was in Police Academy, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Well, he
So I
did that
mean,
movie. He did that
Willow
found
Creek.
footage
Willow
movie.
Creek,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
oh, I didn't see
Okay.
that. I don't know
All
what that
right,
is, but I don't know him as some good talent. So I see.
Yeah.
Obviously, I feel like that's the reference. I don't know who Bob Crane is, or I
Bob
probably
Crane,
do,
he
but I
was
just
he was
don't
Hogan from
know.
Hogan's Heroes, and he
Oh.
made interesting films on his own time.
He had an interesting.
Did he make porn or
Hollywood,
something?
Yes.
Hollywood.
He
home
did?
life.
For real?
Mhm.
Are y'all messing with me?
Nope.
Personal
Oh
porn.
my God.
Personal porn. And then he ended up being bludgeoned to death.
What?
Yes.
Jesus. What the?
Anyway, Travis goes on to say, "You guys always deliver. Thanks for reviewing an all-time favorite of mine. Best wishes, and Nomad still sucks." And what the
Yeah.
what about Bob Crane?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that is. Woof.
All
I'm gonna have
right.
to look that up.
So Bill.
Yeah.
So what do we have? We've got a few here. So on the Monster Squad, which just went live 2 days ago, the Monster Quad.
Yeah.
From JG63, I'll just read this one. It's pretty short. The mummy actor has been to some cons. He's extremely thin, reminiscent of Doug Jones. Except Doug Jones is very tall, right?
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
he's not that tall. He's not that tall.
He's
He's
tall.
Like,
tall
he's not
compared
tall.
to me.
He's like, because when I met him, he's only like that much taller than me.
What? I find that hard to
Yeah.
believe.
He is extremely thin. No, he's not. Like
You
I
sure he
got
wasn't on
noticed.
his knees or something?
But he is also like hugging me.
Yeah.
And like,
he's a
you
real
know,
hugger.
yeah,
He's the best
so
hugger in
touchy.
the world.
I sort of
He's
figured he was like
awesome.
6'5", so I'm
Oh,
looking
no.
this. Oh,
No.
6'3".
He's
6'3"
what?
is what it says in IMDb. It says 6'3". So.
No way.
But
Unless
the
he
mummy was
really
very
just
short.
Crystal, I think I understand. I have an explanation. When he hugged you, much like myself, you were probably floating on air, and that gave you the illusion that he was not
like
nearly
he
as tall.
felt he was right here. You know what I mean? Like he was like right here. So I guess he just felt
He's a contortionist. He probably folded his
that
body
is
so that you didn't feel
messing me
inadequate.
up. He might be that tall. That is so weird.
So anyway,
Yeah.
my point was the mummy. Not only was he thin, he was short compared to the other monsters.
Yeah. True.
So good point. Thanks for bringing that up. You could call me Ray G.
Thank you, because I was curious about that. Actually, I appreciate that.
And then from Jose, I think Bill on
Yes.
the Monster Squad.
Jose says, I've not seen this one all the way through. I was working at the video store when this was released on tape. I want to say late 87 or early 88. I only remember a couple of scenes, like several others have pointed out. I think I was under the impression this was a dumb kid type film and wasn't paying much attention. Over the years,
See?
certain lines have
Kids.
become iconic, and I realized this is the one I want to see. Good.
Good.
I think
You
you'll
should.
enjoy it.
Okay, well, the next one's from Gregory Crosby on the Monster Squad, and I think Chad is our designated Gregory Crosby.
He is. It's his
That's
turn.
okay.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
It's
now.
Crystal's turn, but
But
unless
you take it
Crystal,
now.
you want to try
You
to
can take it. No, he can
Okay.
take it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is exactly what I was saying about this movie, though, for sure. Yep.
I
ahead,
avoided this because I too thought it would be a corny kids flick. But after listening to the episode, it looks like I need to revise that prejudice. Looking forward to watching it.
But see, that's the whole thing. That's exactly why I think this movie did not do well. It was not marketed properly.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean-
what Jose said too. Yeah, he thought it was a dumb
It's
kid.
just, and it's not really a kid film that kids of that generation would be interested in. I think now kids are a lot more open to like horror and universal monsters and that kind of stuff. But I think back then it was less children, only the weirdos like me. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have one from Brian Smith, our very own Brian
Yay! I love Brian.
Smith. Crystal?
Brian Smith now. Classic flick. Still holds up and moves fast. You're right, Brian. You're right.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yep.
You guys, I ordered it. I did.
Oh, yeah, of course you did. Not much of a shock there. You should
came today.
have that one. And you can watch it with your grandson easily.
Yeah, they're
Sure.
getting kind of old too.
So
My youngest
Oh, it's-
grandkid is now 14
oh boy.
out of the 6 of them, and they go up to 22, I think, maybe.
14 is a weird age. You know, it's like it's hard to tell what they're gonna like at 14, you know.
She's
Sometimes
into she's super into anime.
Oh, okay.
She loved
Yeah.
the what was the Uzumaki, the spiral anime that was on I think it was on Netflix here
Yeah, I remember that.
in the last 6 months. All right. Okie dokie. Well, thanks
Yay.
all for that
Yes.
feedback. Thanks to Jose, Travis,
Mm-hmm.
JG63, Gregory, and Brian Smith. How you doing? Good to hear from you. We love our feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So please make comments on the Gruesome Magazine YouTube channel. You can also check us out on Gruesome Magazine's H&R and DOH podcast Facebook group or at the website. And you can send emails to feedback@gruesomemagazine.com and they will get to us. So
Sure
thank
will.
y'all for that. That's it for this episode, but every 2 weeks we'll be focusing on a special film, a specifically special film released between 1980 and 1989. Next up, we'll tackle one chosen by Crystal. Surprises, Crystal.
But it's a big change of pace.
Hopefully
Yeah.
something other than critters.
Guess what? It's not. You're gonna get a double dose of critter love with Critters 2. Yep.
Ooh.
Electric
Strap
Boom.
on your boots.
Yep.
Strap on your boots, guys. You're gonna love it.
1988.
Love it.
The quickening.
Scott Grimes and Don Keith Opper return as our effects by Chiodo Brothers, but this one is directed and co-written by Mick Garris. So check that one out. We'll do that in 2 weeks. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Grue Believers,
Thank you.
for listening or watching or however you take part of this. Say goodnight, everybody, from Iowa, North Carolina, Georgia, and Canada.
Ooh.
That's right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Stay warm.
See you.
Gruesome Magazine.